Good afternoon, everyone. First Alert Storm Team meteorologist Joseph Williams with your VNN News Now Evening Forecast. And here's the deal. We've been talking about this system over the past few days. We've been tracking it, and, well, it's here. It's a First Alert weather day for Sunday because of that snow coming down. This is the Red River Fairgrounds. You can barely see beyond the fairgrounds because of the snow falling and also because of some strong wind gusts in the area. The temperature is also currently 6 degrees, and I mentioned the temperature because the wind chill is obviously lower, and more importantly, we're looking at some dangerously low wind chills as we head into your Sunday night and Monday morning commute. Again, thanks for joining us. First Alert Storm Team meteorologist Joseph Williams with your VNN News Now Evening Forecast, and it's a very messy one out there. Like I mentioned, we have our First Alert weather day for Sunday, and that continues into Monday morning because of the threat of blowing snow and even some blizzard conditions possible in our region as we head into this evening. So the blizzard, for context, that means a few hours of basically low visibility, little to no visibility due to the snow being whipped up by strong winds across our region. So we are looking at the threat of some blizzard-like conditions in parts of our region, and even if we don't see those blizzard-like conditions, I can assure you we're still looking at low visibility due to some of the strong wind gusts pushing through this evening as well as the falling snow. And let's get right to the forecast to kind of show you what we're talking about right here. So again, here's a look at our First Alert forecast to show you what I mean a little bit more in detail. This lasts into Monday morning because we're still looking at snow accumulation over the next several hours. I'm thinking by midnight, though, any leftover falling snow, that will be done. We'll basically stop dealing with falling snow across the region after midnight. And at that point, the main threat will be any lingering strong wind gusts that will continue pushing through our region. We're still looking at those strong wind gusts continuing into early Monday morning, which means we'll continue seeing the threat of blowing snow and some slick roads even into your Monday morning commutes. And I also mentioned we're dealing with some dangerous cold. We're dealing with below zero wind chills across our region. In fact, wind chills make it into the 30s below zero for wind chills during the overnight hours. So let's take a look at our winter weather alerts first. Our entire region is practically under some form of winter weather alert, and that's because of this winter storm bringing snow accumulation and strong winds across the region, which means blowing snow and possibly blizzard conditions in the Red River Valley in particular that we are watching out for. And meanwhile, in eastern North Dakota, not as much snow as anticipated, and the snow does end there earlier. So eastern North Dakota's winter weather advisory, that lasts until 9 p.m., so it will expire within the next 5 or so hours. Meanwhile, in northwest Minnesota, their winter weather advisory lasts until 3 a.m. because we're anticipating the snow to stick around just a little bit longer, and we're also anticipating the winds to last a little longer in northwest Minnesota. So the winds die down faster in eastern North Dakota, which is why their winter weather advisory lasts until 9 p.m. And meanwhile, again, northwest Minnesota, their winter weather advisory lasts until about 3 a.m. because that's when the winds finally weaken in northwest Minnesota. The main story, though, is that blizzard warning for the Red River Valley in its entirety, as well as Lakes Country, and that's because in the Red River Valley and Lakes Country, that's where we're anticipating the highest snow totals and the strongest winds. In the Red River Valley, we could see wind gusts climbing into the 50-mile-per-hour range, but at least getting into the 40-plus-mile-per-hour range, particularly in the southern valley. And at the same time, we're looking at that falling snow continuing in the central and southern valley up until midnight. So we're looking at plenty of snow accumulation across the region. Earlier today, just about half an hour ago, I checked outside with our snow gauge outside of the station, just to give you some context, and I measured about 4.5 inches of snow just outside of our station. And unfortunately, we may see another inch or so of accumulation as the snow continues. Here's a look at our satellite and radar. Still showing a swath of snow impacting the James River Valley and the Fargo-Moorhead area, and even the southern valley. We may finally be getting a break from the snow out of the international border, but again, all this, much of eastern North Dakota, the Red River Valley, and parts of northwest Minnesota, still seeing that snow coming down, and that snow is moving south. You may notice this little blob is moving south as we head into tonight. And as a result, we're anticipating snow accumulation over the next several hours. On top of this, look at where the wind gusts are placed. We have strong wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour still in Devil's Lake versus 40 miles per hour in Grand Forks, 32 miles per hour in Fargo, and 35 miles per hour in Oaks. So we're looking at strong northwesterly flow, which is leading to some low visibility just due to that blowing snow threat. And in fact, here's a look at the visibility just to give you some idea as to how low it is. Quarter-mile visibility in Fargo and Fergus Falls versus half a mile in Jamestown, 1 mile in Devil's Lake, and half a mile in Grand Forks. So much of our region seeing little visibility. If you have to travel, you definitely need to give yourself some extra time on the roads. Be careful. And really, it's better if you can put off driving this evening as the snow continues falling. Here's a look at road conditions just to kind of give you an idea how messy it is. In Lakes Country, that's where some of the roads are clearest, but we still have some partial coverage of the roads in Lakes Country. The rest of our region has at least partial covering of the roads or complete coverage out to the west of Fargo. So we have complete coverage of the roads to the west of Fargo, for example. And in Devil's Lake, it's partial coverage as snow amounts are lighter in Devil's Lake compared to Fargo. But we did record a measurement of 4 inches of snow out near Devil's Lake, just to put into perspective. So plenty of active weather as we head into the next several hours. Again, here's a look at our first alert forecast. We'll continue seeing that snow moving south over the next several hours. By around 7 o'clock, we're still looking at some light snow in Valley City and Fargo, but the heaviest snow will mainly be concentrated in southeast North Dakota, northeast South Dakota, and in southern Lakes Country. Meanwhile, the Northern Valley finally getting a break from that active weather as we head into 7 o'clock. So again, by 7 o'clock, the snow is in the Southern Valley, and the Northern Valley is getting a break from the heavy snow, although it will still deal with some strong winds as we head into Sunday night. By around 9 o'clock, the snow moves further south, still looking at some light snow coming down in northeast South Dakota and just to the south of Otter Tail County. But I think by 9 o'clock, Fargo may finally start seeing that snow pushing out of the area. There's a chance that we'll see. Now, we may see some light snow still coming down in Fargo, maybe at least some flurries. But I think that the heaviest snow will be out of the Fargo-Moorhead area after 8 to 9 o'clock. So that is the good news. And then by midnight, any leftover snow is out of our region altogether. So basically by midnight, we're finally getting a break from the active weather pattern, at least in regards to the snow. How much more snow are we anticipating? Well, I already said that Fargo saw about 4.5 inches of snow. We recorded about 4.5 inches of snow outside of the station about half an hour ago. And that is, we're probably looking at another inch or two of snow accumulation in the Fargo-Moorhead area. Probably looking at another inch of accumulation in southeast North Dakota and I-94, less than a couple tenths of accumulation in Grand Forks, and another inch or so of accumulation in Lakes Country. So we're looking at just a little bit more snow accumulation, maybe a few tenths of an inch to 2 inches of snow, and that alone would mean some more slick spots on the roads as that snow continues to fall. But on top of this, one of the other reasons we were so concerned about this snowmaker is that it was coming with some strong winds. The winds heading into the 5 o'clock hour will be gusting above 30 miles per hour across much of our region. We got strong northwesterly flow pushing into our region, and that will lead to wind gusts of, say, 37 miles per hour in Fargo versus 36 miles per hour in Wahpeton by the 5 o'clock hour. And by 8 o'clock, we will see wind gusts getting above 40 miles per hour in the Southern Valley. So we may see a gust up to 41 miles per hour in Valley City, 43 miles per hour in Fargo. Remember, this area that I'm highlighting with the arrow here, this is the area that's under the blizzard warning, and that's because we could see gusts up to 50 miles per hour in the central and southern Red River Valley. So that is something to consider. We could see gusts getting above 43 miles per hour in Fargo as we head into Sunday evening. But even in the Northern Valley, we're looking at wind gusts above in the 30 to 40 mile per hour range well into Sunday evening. And so we're looking at blowing snow across much of our region and possibly blizzard conditions in the Red River Valley as we head into Sunday evening. So that definitely means, again, It's better to stay at home if you can. And if you have to travel, make sure to have a winter survival kit in your car. Make sure to have some food, water, batteries, a flashlight, and a blanket. You name it. Make sure that you are prepared if you have to travel for Sunday evening. Luckily, like I said, by midnight, I think the bulk of the snow will be out of our region. We may just be left with a few isolated flurries across a region after midnight. But again, notice that wind gusts will still be in the 35 plus mile per hour range across our entire region by midnight. And those winds will continue in the Red River Valley and northwest Minnesota up until 7 to 8 o'clock, at which point the winds end up dying down. And that's why our blizzard warning lasts until Monday morning, until 6 a.m. Monday morning specifically, because that's when the winds end up dying down, when they drop to a low enough level that the blowing snow threat ends. By Monday afternoon, we're just looking at a standard breeze. So just to recap, a very windy day as we head into tonight. Put it another way, in Jamestown, peak gusts may get into the 43 mile per hour range, possibly higher than that. But after 2 to 3 o'clock, gusts will drop below 30 miles per hour. And by 7 a.m., we're just looking at a standard breeze in Jamestown. And meanwhile, in Fargo, same deal. Gusts may be up to 38 miles per hour even by 4 a.m. So still likely dealing with a blowing snow threat even by the time Valley Today starts. But by 7 a.m., the blowing snow threat more or less ends as the winds decrease to 22 miles per hour. So basically, well into your early to mid-Monday morning commute. Be prepared for that blowing snow threat, slick roads, low visibility, you name it. Make sure to give yourself some extra time on the roads. And again, the greatest timing, the likely timing of the blizzard conditions will be basically as we head into late Sunday evening and early overnight. Now, looking at our cold weather advisory, I also talked about the fact that we're dealing with some dangerous cold. We have a cold weather advisory for northeast North Dakota and the Red River Valley and northwest Minnesota until 9 a.m. Monday because of wind chills as low as 35 below, which can cause frostbite in as little as 10 minutes. Here's a look at our temperatures and wind chills for tomorrow morning, just to give you some context. I'm thinking a temperature of 5 below and a wind chill of 25 below in Fargo versus 4 below and 23 below in Grand Forks, and 8 below and 26 below in Langdon. I'm thinking where the wind chills will be the lowest at will be in the northern valley, where we have the best chance of seeing those wind chills being in the 30s below zero. And here's a look at a wind chills forecast to show you what I mean. By your 7 o'clock hour, we're looking at wind chills in the 20s below zero across the region, but by Monday afternoon, we see the winds dying down, the winds die down, and we will see a partly sunny sky, which will allow temperatures to rise a little bit. And combined with the light winds, wind chills will only be in the single digits to low teens below zero. So we're looking at a temperature of 5 above zero and a wind chill of 7 below zero in Fargo by your Monday afternoon commute. And then we actually do have another First Alert Weather Day coming up. I went ahead and just declared a First Alert Weather Day for Tuesday as we're looking at some more light snow accumulations and some wind gusts across the region, with the light snow mainly happening during the morning and early afternoon hours, and the winds mainly happening during the afternoon to evening hours. So there is a little bit of a discrepancy regarding the snow and wind timing. And then on Wednesday, we were looking at some more light snow. So New Year's Eve, some more light snow. Here's a look at a First Alert Weather Day graphic to kind of explain a little bit more. Basically, for Tuesday, some light snow during the morning, early afternoon hours, and gusts above 30 as we head into the afternoon hours on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, luckily we don't have to worry about the wind on Wednesday. We're just looking at some light winds. But we are looking at some more light snow accumulations on Wednesday, and I am concerned about how we could see some travel impacts, maybe some slick spots on the roads, which means you'll want to account for that if you are traveling. There is some uncertainty regarding the exact timing and track of the snow showers, but again, I just want to give you that First Alert heads up. And here's a look at our First Alert forecast to show you what I mean. Looking at Tuesday specifically, we'll see those snow showers in the northern valley and northwest Minnesota Tuesday morning. The bulk of the moisture moves out by early Tuesday afternoon, but we may see a few isolated showers moving in Tuesday evening. And around that time, we are looking at wind gusts up to the 30 mile per hour range, possibly higher than that, which means some snowflakes may get whipped up, leading to an isolated blowing snow situation. Luckily, by Tuesday night, we do get a brief break from the moisture. Here's a look at our wind gust forecast around the same time we see Tuesday's snow showers. So remember, in our model, northwest Minnesota was seeing some light snow around 9 to 10 o'clock. The winds, the strongest winds, will be likely to the west of the Fargo-Moorhead area, but we will see wind gusts picking up into the 30-mile-per-hour range in northwest Minnesota as we head into Tuesday afternoon and evening, and that may cause a blowing snow situation in some locations. Isolated, yes, but a blowing snow situation nonetheless, which is why I went ahead and declared a first alert weather day for much of our region. And then as we head into Wednesday morning, we get another opportunity for some snow. And here's a look at that. Starting the clock at midnight, heading to 5 a.m., we'll see some light snow in the Devil's Lake Basin, moving southeast throughout the morning and early afternoon hours. By late afternoon, the snow is gone, although we may see an isolated flurry or two as we head into Wednesday night. Overall, though, I'm thinking that we're looking at some snow accumulation across the region between Tuesday morning and Wednesday morning, with the bulk of the snow moving in on Tuesday morning and Wednesday morning specifically. How much snow could we end up seeing? Well, that depends on which model you look at. The European model suggesting a bit more snow coverage and some more snow compared to the American model on the right. But both models do suggest some snow accumulation across the region, particularly in southeast North Dakota and in northwest Minnesota, which is why I went ahead and declared a first alert weather day for Tuesday into New Year's Eve, because of the light snow accumulations leading to some slick spots on the roads and some isolated travel impacts. So that is something to be aware of. Keep the VNN First Alert Weather app on standby. After Wednesday, the latter half of the week is looking quiet. We may see a few isolated showers for the first weekend of January, so we'll keep an eye on that. But at least New Year's Day and the following day, we're looking at partly to mostly sunny skies. So let's recap everything. Again, dealing with some bitter cold as we head into Monday. We warm back up briefly on Tuesday, and then temperatures will be on the cold side towards the first few days of 2026. But we do warm back up into the teens as we transition into the first week of January and of 2026. So let's recap everything one final time. We basically have 3 first alert weather days in a row. The first one will last through Monday morning because we'll see the winds dying down after late Monday morning. But during the early morning commute, expect some blowing snow, slick roads, travel difficulties, you name it, for your Monday morning commute. Then we may see a few snow showers on Tuesday, namely in the Northern Valley in northwest Minnesota. Not much moisture anticipated, but we could see some strong wind gusts on Tuesday, which is why I went ahead and declared a first alert weather day for Tuesday. And then for Wednesday, we do have another opportunity for some light snow, this time in the southern areas of our region. And that will lead to some snow accumulations too, which means you want to give yourself some extra time on the roads and traveling for Wednesday. Luckily, on New Year's Eve, we get a break from the activity. Look at this, partly sunny skies, but we are looking at a low of 6 below zero and an afternoon high of only 9. And then we might see a few snow showers for the first weekend of January. Stick with VNN News Live for those updates as we keep an eye on this. Overall, pretty busy end to 2025 ahead of us these next few days. So definitely keep the VNN weather app on standby as we track these systems. Now, I'm going to get off of here, but I will be giving periodic weather updates on the VNN First Alert Weather app, so be sure to tune in for those latest updates. And I'll be on for VNN News Live at 9 and 10 for the shows. And so just be aware of that. I'm going to get off of here. But again, thank you so much for watching. Be safe out there if you're traveling for Sunday.